Hey y'all, this is Andrew at Plainview Farm. The weather has turned a little bit chilly on us the last couple days, but kind of thing happens this time of year. So I thought what I would do today is give you a little bit of update on what's going on here around the farm. The first thing being, what's happening with our bottle calf? We've decided to start calling her Darla. It's been about a week since she was born, and we started feeding her with a bottle. She seems to be doing pretty well. She's got her little spot. We let her out and run around in the yard quite a bit. It's kind of funny. She's got to where she likes to play with the dogs. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to put some wood shavings, wood chips, whatever you want to call them, down in the floor here. That way she'll have a little bit better bedding surface than what she has. We've also got some calf starter feed that we're going to put out for her to help give her some other sources of nutrition other than just that bottle of milk replacer. And yes, this is a grain style of feed. I prefer grass-fed, but I'm not 100% purist on that. You know, there are times that, well, you need to supplement in different places. And so when it's necessary, I'm going to do it. And I believe in this instance, it is definitely necessary. We're going to start by opening up the panel here. Got the bag of wood shavings here. Watch out, Rusty. Got our water bucket right here. It's still pretty fresh. Just filled it up. Now I'm just gonna use my foot, spread these around. And the second bag. She's gonna think she's a show calf. Got all these fancy wood chips, wood shavings laid out here. Makes me think of the livestock show at the fair. Set the water bucket back where it goes. Okay, so I've just got a rubber pan here. And basically what I'm going to do is just fill this rubber pan with this feed. And of course, it didn't open like it was supposed to. So like I said, I'm just going to fill this rubber pan with feed and leave it out here for her to sniff at it, nibble at it, eat it, hopefully, at her own discretion. It's just going to put it out here, free choice, as they say. I'll show you, this is just a pelletized feed, is really all that it is. Like I said, trying to get the calf started on something other than just the milk replacer. And what this is just the Tractor Supply store brand, I believe it is anyway, store brand calf starter. And we'll just have to see how she does with it, I guess. What are you two girls up to? Having a standoff? Huh? We having a standoff? So now I'm just going to stick this bag in with the rest of the feed in the barrel. She's obviously feeling pretty good. She's taking off down the road, of course. The good mama cows are worried about whose calf that is. Of course, our miniature donkey foal, he's having a good time himself. You know, Darla's actually kind of become my sidekick around here. She's got to where she pretty well just follows me around wherever I go, which, you know, it's kind of neat. Darla, what do you say we go check on the donkey foal? Here she comes. Hey, Charles. One of the things that I need to do pretty soon is to drag this area of the property. This is the north pasture of the farm. I've moved the cows back onto the south side. The grass has grown fairly well out there, so we've got them on grass right now. We fed the last little bit of hay that we had on this north side to help get some of the nutrients from those hay bales onto this side. And as you can tell, we've got a pretty good dose of manure out here on the pasture. So that's one of the things that's going to be coming up pretty soon is trying to get all this dragged and get these cow pies all spread out. And I'm probably going to be talking about pasture in the next video, I believe. Going to be talking about the cows and what's going on with them. And, you know, getting the spring started, getting out on pasture, that kind of stuff. So be watching for that video. But as I said, we've got the miniature donkeys out here. We've got our little foal out here, and it is a him, and I have been calling him Frank. I don't know, you know, if that's what his name is going to be or not, but I have been calling him Frank. When you have kids, those kinds of things, they tend to change on you. But he's doing well. All right, Darla, let's go. And she's panting a little bit. I think she's getting a little warm. Gonna take her back up to the barn, introduce her to her new digs. Come on, Darla. And as you can tell, the barn still isn't finished. I still have a lot of trim work to do and a door on the back to build. It's coming. I promise it's coming if you've been waiting for it. There you go. Back home. Back home. Come on. I don't want to hurt your feet. The only thing is them wood chips are sticking to your face, aren't they? Sticking to your slobbers. Ooh, yeah, there you go. She's gonna explore some of them wood shavings, chew on a little bit of them. So as I mentioned earlier in the video, we are introducing this calf to a grain-based feed. Is that ideal? Well, in a perfect world, probably not. I'm sure there are those that would say that this calf should never have anything but grass in her life. And I agree to a point. The problem is that we don't live in an ideal world. We are subject to various changes, various circumstances that can happen, things that are totally out of our control. I had no expectation that the cow that had this calf would reject her. Like I said, this is the second calf of that cow. And I was perfectly confident that her mother was going to be the mother that she should be. And if she had been, she would be out in the pasture with the rest of the cows. learning how to graze with her mother. But that's not what happened. So now we are in a situation where we have to care for this calf in a different way. We have to bottle feed her every day. We have to make sure that she's protected, that she's safe. And we could kick her out in the pasture. We'd kick her out in the field out there with all the other cows, all the other calves, and go out there and call her up whenever it's time to feed her. But the thing is, she doesn't have the protection that another calf would have. Right now we've got black vultures around, and you know what they like to do? They like to pick off calves like this. So we're having to deal with the situation that we have in the best way possible. I have a regular job that I work, and my wife isn't able to be here all the time either. A lot of times it comes down to what's convenient. Well, right now, putting a pan with feed in it for this calf is what's convenient. That's what makes the most sense for the situation that we're in right now. At the end of the day, what we want is a healthy calf. And this feed, like I said, even though it's not ideal, it's going to help make sure we have that. And I think one of the biggest dangers we experience as farmers is whenever we start dealing in absolutes. Whenever we deal in absolutes, we end up painting ourselves into corners, and then we run the risk of not being honest with our customers. So if people come up and ask me, well, are your cattle 100% grass-fed? I'm going to tell them no. Do I go out and dump feed out for them all the time? No. But they do get grain-based treats from time to time. That helps keep them tame, helps keep them workable. Now, the grain-based feeds that these cattle do get is very, very rare. It is a very, very small percentage, and I'm talking a fraction of 1% of their diet. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is that if you're just starting out in farming, do not allow yourself to be painted into a corner, to be pushed into this world of absolutes that says that you have to do everything a certain way in order to be successful, because that's not true at all. What you have to do is figure out what works best for you in your situation. And by all means, don't allow yourself to lose any sleep over what everyone else thinks. As always, I appreciate you watching. If you haven't yet, please hit that like and subscribe button. We'll see you next time.